So trying it again, you know, you keep going and keep going, you keep hoping the snow will melt. I'm on the trail that goes up to Bishop Pass. Bishop Pass Trail hooks right into the PCT. And that's the trail right there. It's about 4 feet underneath me. Um, it's not really good with snowshoes because it's too steep. You can't really see the trail, even though I have GPS and I can see I'm right on it. It's still really slow going. So I don't know, just have to wait for more hot days and more rain and more melting, and boy, it's been a long winter. And it's going to be a really long spring too. So I got asked some questions by a fellow hiker named Ruth, and she has a channel called Roughing It with Ruth. And in that channel she had a video getting to know Ruth, and she asked me a bunch of questions. I'm not so sure why anybody would ask me questions. I could see John Zahorian or other people like that. They're somebody that you'd want to know what they do. Anyway, I'll take some time to answer that. Her first question is just, who am I? What a philosophical question. There's a lot of answers to that, and I love more complex answers, so I'll do it complexly. There's a lot of roles people play in life. People play husbands, they play wives, they play doctors, they play physician assistants. That's what I am. What role do I play? I play a husband and a physician assistant and neighbor and brother and several things like that. I like a line from a film called Bronco Billy, and his line was, "I am who I want to be." And I am who I want to be. This is where I want to be. Welcome to my home. This is it. Snow or no snow, it's still better than any city. The second question is, how long have I been going on hikes? Probably 20 years. We first started hiking when we'd go up to Banff, Canada, and hike up in there a lot. Beautiful country, lots of bears. You will need bear spray. Lots of grizzlies there. That's where I kind of got used to bears on the trail. And these weren't the nice little Yogi bears. These are grizzlies. They will kick your butt. So I still have that kind of inherent respect for bears. Next question is, do I backpack? Yes, we backpack, and we're going to be backpacking a lot this summer. My wife has a weird job where she's usually on graveyard a lot, so she's usually wiped, so that limits how far you can go. But this summer we're going to do a lot more backpacking, snow or no snow, I don't care. What's my favorite food on the trail? I like pro meals and pro bars. They're not the cheapest bar in the world, but boy, they're good. Other than that, tortilla, turkey, cheese, mayo, mustard, and then that's probably my most favorite food. The next question is, what's my longest trip? The longest day so far has been up in Canada. We did over 20 miles. And that was with about a 3,000 or 4,000 foot gain and loss. Longest backpacking trip is going to be this August. 2 months, and that's the plan. August, all of September on the PCT. We're going to start somewhere around Walker Pass and finish up by Truckee. That's about 500 miles. That's the farthest I've ever walked. It's kind of daunting. I never walked that far. You kind of wonder, can I do it? At my age, would be one of the oldest people out there. Usually kids are 22, 30, 35, maybe 40. But that's the fun thing of it, is that you don't know. And the way to tell if you've gone too far is to go too far. So you have to push yourself, and that's what I like about being up here, and just feeling that constant push, that constant altitude high. Right now I'm at 10,000 feet, 10,000 plus. So I love it up high. 10 to 12 is great. The next question was, what hikes do I repeat the most? Well, this is one. This is one that has a lot of beautiful sights, good elevation gain. It's close. It's at high altitude, which I like that better. The higher I can go, the better I like it. So hikes that are in the Sierras, hikes that get up high, hikes that have great views. Usually those are hikes that go to some pass, or a hike that joins into the PCT or the JMT somehow. That's what we do the most of. What are my 3 just hikes on my to-do list? Well, we're going to do the Walker Pass to Truckee, that's one. And then from August 2018, the plan is to go from the California-Oregon border up to Canada on the PCT. Then it would go from Truckee to the California-Oregon border the next year. It's very tough for me to take off 6 months, so it's going to be doing these sections. After that, boy, I don't know that I want to do the desert. What a fun time. 700 miles, hot, dry, dusty, Los Angeles. I grew up around there, been there, snakes, spiders. So I like this, you know, why can't I just stay here? Other than that, maybe like the Colorado Trail, that would be a great trail to do. Beyond that, I don't know. I wouldn't care to do the AT. Too many mosquitoes and bugs. Don't want to get Lyme. It's all kind of at low altitude. I think that, so I don't know that that would fit me real well. One of our new thoughts is I want to walk to Base Camp Everest. Base Camp Everest, yes, that rocks. So you have to fly into Kathmandu, and then you go to Lukla Airport, and it's kind of not like camping because you stay at tea houses, and there's a lot of good YouTube videos on that. But what a ride! What a fun thing to see Base Camp. It'll probably go up around late March. That's before the May climbing season, so there wouldn't be so many Sherpas and traffic on the trail. And from the looks of it, it's just kind of a road. So it's not like this where you have, you know, stunning woods and that kind of thing. But it's where you are. You're in the place. So that, and it's not that expensive. Maybe $1,000 for the week or 2 weeks you've got on the ground there. And then airfare, I think, is a couple thousand. But I'll definitely take videos of that and post them. The next question is, do I use a map or GPS? We use both. I use GPS most, but I've got maps too. I've got the GPS on right now, and you know, it's kind of hard to see the trail. So, but for snow like this, you've got to have it. You've got to know where you are relative to where you're. I mean, it's nice to say, yeah, I want to go to that mountain, but the closer you can stay onto the trail, the easier it's gonna be. So I use Gaia, and that's an excellent tool. And then there's also an app called Maps 3D, which is free. No, it's like $5, but the downloads are all free. So I use both of those because sometimes Gaia will have a trail that Maps 3D won't, and sometimes Maps 3D will show a trail that Gaia won't. So those are both awesome. The next question is, who do I hike with? Always my wife or just myself. Nobody else wants to come up and do this. Crazy people, you know. What wouldn't you want to do this for? Walk long distances, carrying lots of weight. What's bad about that? They're crazy. But it's hard to find somebody else who wants to do that or is in shape enough to walk more than a mile or two. Usually people I know are in their 70s and they're not coming up here. So you kind of have to, yeah, sure, it'd be great if I knew a whole bunch of people who would hike, but you know, it's hard because I used to hike with my nephew and he could hike circles around me. I mean, he could climb 3,000 feet in one half the time and probably jog up. So you got to be matched so well to the person with you. That's why people on the JMT and the PCT usually don't stay together, because one person gets tired and one person gets sick and one person walks too slow and one person walks too fast. And you got to get comfortable walking alone or with your spouse. And if you meet up with people and share some time, that's that's what life is. You meet people, you kind of, it's just like two boats passing in the night. You talk, and then you kind of wander apart again. Last question, what makes me want to hike? Breathing, being alive, heart beating, a trail, a mountain. Check out that. Sweet, huh? Altitude, not being at work. so pretty much any excuse I can find is what I do. So I hope those answered your questions, Ruth, and I enjoy watching your channel, and I hope you have a lot of great hikes in front of you. Bye-bye.